So here's a 1912 Grafonola, and this is the top of the turntable with the platter removed. This is the tone arm and the repeater. So what we're going to do is take this out, and I'll show you what it looks like inside. First, you must remove the crank. Screws like this. Set that aside. Alright. Okay, this is the mechanism from the underside. And this mechanism was designed in the early 20th century. This particular one was last modified around 1912. And what you see here is a 3-spring wind-up motor. All the drive gears, which are all made of brass. And I'm going to show you some of the, well, I can't with this camera, but there's some wear and tear on a lot of these gears, but they're not bad. They're still fully functional. And this little assembly here is the governor, which helps regulate the speed. And this is a, it's kind of like a brake disc, a brake disc. And it has 2 leather pads, actually these might be felt, that rub against it. And you can control them with this lever on the front, and that just reduces and increases the tension on that wheel. As you can see, it kind of moves in and out a little bit. This camera's not good for near close-up focusing, but over here is the drive gear that powers the governor. And what this does is it rides up against this worm gear, right where my finger is pointing, and that's what makes this spin. And what that does is when that starts to spin too fast, these weights start to fly out because they sit on springs. And what that does is it forces this disc closer to the felt pads. So let me see if I can demonstrate that. Okay, so as I push this disc inwards, the weights go outward, see? And that forces more pressure against these pads, and that slows it down automatically. To make this work, I have to replace this fiber gear, which shouldn't be flopping around like that. It's also missing a couple of teeth, and that's why it's not running properly. But that's a pretty cool design. This was done, again, in around 1912. And this was early American technology at its finest. But she needs a little bit of work to make her work properly. And that's what I intend to do. Till then. The needle is actually gouging the record. I can't figure out a way to make it not do that. It's a new needle, so it shouldn't be badly worn. The problem is the governing system is not properly functioning just yet. I do need to replace that fiber gear. So I've got a few things tweaked to make the best of what's left of the gear, and unfortunately it's kind of slowing it down. If I fully wind it up, you'll get some more power out of it. There we go. There we go. Or not. Don't stop. See what the other side of this sounds like. And that's when it locks up. That's pretty dangerous when it locks up in a fully wound state, because you can't disassemble it if you do it. If you do disassemble it, well, let me show you what happens. See all this grease splattered all over the coffee table and carpet? Yeah, I've got to clean that up. What happened was it was fully wound, and I had to figure out a way to get it disassembled so that it wouldn't either strip one of the gears or kill me. So I backed off on one of the gears and it just let loose. All three main springs were wound, so of course it spun for a little while and grease was flying all over the place. So I've got a bit of a cleanup project to take care of now. So I'm thinking I know what I've got to do. I've got to pull the springs apart, clean out all the gunk from the spring housings. I've got to replace that fiber gear, and then maybe readjust a few bearings. Come on, I know it's not fully unwound. Shit. Okay, that's because the fiber gear finally let go. So I gotta get one of those as soon as possible. There you have it, the 1912 Columbia Grafonola. Back in the old days, records had to spin really fast. Real fast. Grafonola is doing this because they need a new government.